How is it going, everyone, and welcome back to another YouTube video. And today what I've got for you is another transfer rumour video. MK Dons' young fullback Mathew Sorinola has been linked on the way to some top clubs. I've got to tell you, it's the likes of Leeds United, West Ham, Brighton, Swansea, and there's also one more which we'll talk about later on in the video. It's quite an interesting transfer rumour to me because I didn't really expect Matty to be going anywhere this window, if I'm honest. I'm going to get into this in a bit, and also what Russell Martin has to say about this. In December, so last month, Russell Martin did say that Mathew Sorinola won't be going anywhere this January window, but some top clubs have become interested in the young fullback. I've already mentioned a few of them clubs so far in this video, but before we get into me talking about if I think it's right for Matty to go, Russell Martin's thoughts and a bit more about the clubs and in the kind of the interest and all that in general. Please don't forget to leave a like on this video, subscribe down below if you are new, it does really help the channel out, and yeah, feel free to comment your thoughts on if Matty should leave the club or not. Should MK let him go because he isn't really getting consistent game time, which he might like, or he might not even be able to achieve it. The clubs he's attracting at the minute. But yeah, without further ado, let's get straight into the video. So then, starting off, I'm going to be talking about the title of the video, which is Leeds United, who are the main club, from what I can see, are interested in Matty. Leeds obviously have got a very good manager, some would say overrated, but I think he's a good manager in Marcelo Bielsa. High press tactics, and I think Matty could adapt to that really well. Obviously Leeds' left back at the minute is Alioski. He's starting a few games here and there, and I think his contract does run out in the summer, I do believe. Please correct me if you are a Leeds fan in the comments. I think Matty could slot in. It is like a backup left back. I'm not too sure. But yeah, Matty could slot in backup left back, maybe he can play some few cup games, maybe even start some in the Premier League. Apparently Leeds and West Ham are interested in signing him, but apparently they have sort of pulled out for this window and they could go back in for him in the summer. But I thought I'd Leeds and West Ham because obviously that is two massive clubs who are interested in the young fullback. I think that they think it's best for him to get regular game time here at MK Dons until the end of the season. And apparently there was a few scouts on our game last Tuesday against Charlton Athletic where we did fall to a 1-0 defeat at home. A few scouts there, so they could be watching young Matty. But yeah, two clubs which really interest me at the minute, who are highly pursuing the young fullback, is Swansea City and Brighton Hove Albion. And they might be going in for Mathew Sorinola this window, which is very interesting. Obviously pushing for promotion to the Premier League they are currently, and I think they will achieve that with obviously bringing in that new striker they've got. Jordan Morris, I want to say. Correct me if I'm wrong, obviously Jamal Lowe, Andrew Lowe, some firepower up front. They've also got a few decent defenders and also a very good lone goalkeeper at the minute, Freddie Woodman, who I think if they do get promoted he will sign for them from Newcastle United. Swansea look very interested in Matty, and the same with Brighton of Albion. I'm not sure if he will go to Brighton because currently they do sit in the below half of the Premier League. I believe they sit 17th place, just one place above the relegation zone. It's got a couple of points in it. It's like 5, I believe. From Fulham, I want to say, who are 18th. I think Matty could look at going to Swansea if he was out of the two who are currently pursuing him this window, because it looks like Swansea have got the brighter future, obviously just going up to the Premier League, which they are most likely to do, and Brighton, who could be falling into that relegation zone. I'm not too sure if he will go to any this window. I think it is more likely for him to choose. I think it is more likely for him to leave in the summer, and that is pretty much it on the main clubs interested in him. But I will tell you about one quite interesting one which I have heard from rival sources on Twitter, and I'll get into that now. So as you can see on your screens now, have a read of that. That is a rumour from Andy Naylor, who writes about Brighton and is like the local journalist. He put a bit of transfer speculation. You may have seen Brighton is one of several clubs linked with Mathew Sorinola, 19-year-old fullback at MK Dons. My understanding is the interest with regards to chairman Tony Bloom, who is obviously the chairman of Brighton of Albion. Other club in Belgium, Union Saint-Gilles, are apparently after him. So obviously he in two clubs, I'm guessing, one in the Belgian second division, who have finished first in that division, Union Saint-Gilles, and obviously struggling in Brighton in the Premier League. So you can now see why Brighton are heavily linked with Mathew Sorinola. It's not really on par with Championship football, which I think he probably will get more regular football. I'm not even sure if Mathew Sorinola would even get regular football over in Belgium, but I think he will get it maybe at Swansea if they don't get promoted. But I think they will get promoted, so I'm not too sure about that. It's just going to be an interesting one. Now let's move on to what Russell Martin had to say about the transfer speculation. So what Russell Martin did say on the matter was that Sorinola is not for sale, but everyone has a price, which is clearly indicating that he doesn't want the player to leave this January, and hopefully not even at the end of the season. He wants to develop his progression as a young footballer. So that if we end up getting a valuation for any of our players, it has to be big for players like Matty, who is young. It has to be a substantial bid. Russ is saying that he thinks the chairman might have to take that if it is a massive bid, maybe like 800k upwards, I'd say. But we haven't had any conversations about that yet, or put a valuation on him because we don't want to sell him. Russ said that we don't need to sell Matty either, which is good to hear, and obviously it sounds like the club is financially stable, which I don't think we're in the summer, which is why I think it did lead to sales of Reece Healey, Alex Gilby and Callum Britton in late October. Ross did say he was on his way out of the club when we took over because he was only on a short-term deal. He could have gone on a free late November, December 2019, which is very interesting that Russell did show faith in him and did make him sign a new deal. To sum up what Russell was saying there is that everyone has got a price, is what he's saying. It doesn't mean they're necessarily going to leave the next window, which I think Mathew won't leave at all, because he looks set to say he obviously isn't getting consistent game time, but Russ did say that he wants to keep him for at least another year until the end of the 2021-22 season to continue his development as an MK Dons player, and maybe to sell him on from there. To give my final thoughts on this transfer room, I don't think Matty is going to leave this window, as it is going to be good to see a young player grow as an MK Dons player. It may be able to better things when he's older. We have seen that with a few players like Callum Britton, Dele Alli, and also like players like George Baldock. But yeah, that is the end of the video, so if you did enjoy, please don't forget to leave a like on this video, subscribe down below if you are new, feel free to comment your thoughts on this transfer rumour, do you think he'll stay or go this window, and yeah, that's all from me, and I'll catch you in the next video. See you then. Missing someone.